Step right in, close the door behind you. Welcome to the evidence room. The lights are dim, the coffee went cold about 3 hours ago, and if you look at the whiteboard over there, you'll see a massive web of red yarn connecting some of the most elusive, frustrating clues in the entire Cambridge academic underworld. I am your lead detective, and today we are officially opening case file 8679. We are launching a full-scale investigation into exam technique and time management, specifically targeting the Cambridge AS Level Afrikaans Language Paper 3 essay. Listen, this isn't just a casual review. We're going to dive deep and we're going to see exactly what the principal examiners are demanding from you. We're going to dissect this like a real crime scene, finding the exact places where candidates are dropping marks, and more importantly, how you can secure them. So grab a notepad, settle in, and let's get to work.
Now, you might be wondering, out of all the cases sitting on my desk, why are we prioritizing this specific one today? Well, the answer comes down to one absolutely crucial number: 15. 15%. Mastering the specific exam technique and time management matrix we're about to cover accounts for approximately 15% of the total marks in Paper 2 of the 8679 syllabus. But here is the kicker. It acts as the ultimate multiplier for your Paper 3 essay. Think about that for a second. It is quite literally the critical difference between securing that top-tier grade you've been grinding for and watching your entire case just completely fall apart on exam day. When a student mismanages their time in that exam hall, or worse, misinterprets a complex Afrikaans text, they aren't just losing a mark or two. They are actively bleeding out significant portions of their final grade profile. It's a massive leak, and we need to stop that leak immediately. You can't afford to leave 15% up to chance. No way.
So, to make sure you secure a flawless band score, we're going to be following a very strict chronological 5-phase protocol today. First up, forensic evidence. Second, the interrogation debate. Third, we do a structural upgrade. Fourth, we step into the live evidence room. And finally, case closed. Let's move. Starting with Phase 1, forensic evidence. This is where we re-examine the core assessment objectives. To process this incredibly complex scene, I've brought in my two top operatives to the evidence board. On one side, we have Agent Alex. Now, Alex is a procedural whiz who gathers vast mountains of raw, physical evidence and facts. On the other side, we have Agent Sam. Sam is fast-acting, always jumping to immediate analytical conclusions. But here's the problem. If you just rely on Alex's facts or Sam's rushed assumptions, you fail the case. Notice how the Cambridge Assessment Framework on your screen scales up systematically. At the very bottom, it starts right at Alex's comfort zone, knowledge and understanding. That's the baseline. But true academic benchmarks, they prioritize analytical depth over superficial breadth. So we step up to the second tier, analysis. This is where you actually break down the relationships hidden within the stimulus material. But the highest tier, the absolute holy grail that cracks the case wide open, is evaluation. Successful candidates don't just dump facts or rush to conclusions. They demonstrate connected, conceptual competence across all three of these domains. You have to climb that ladder. Let me tell you, misinterpreting an examiner's command word is exactly like a fingerprint mismatch. It instantly gets your entire case thrown right out of court. If you simply describe what happens in the Afrikaans text instead of evaluating it, you've essentially arrested the wrong suspect. It's a shallow, descriptive statement versus a high-value, evaluative argument. Higher-order assessment objectives absolutely demand the evaluation of alternatives. They want to see the comparison of different approaches. They want fully justified recommendations. You must, and I mean you must, move from merely saying what is physically written in the text to passionately arguing why it matters and exactly how it impacts the broader context of the issue. If you're just summarizing the plot or the main points, you are leaving the biggest marks completely untouched on the table. But listen, don't panic. There are actually safety nets built right into the Cambridge system. Specifically, we're talking about the method mark strategy. The examiners, believe it or not, actually want to see your systematic processing. They want to see the procedural framework behind your thinking. Think of it this way. Even if your final conclusion or your final answer is completely off base, showing your logical, step-by-step reasoning proves to the examiner that you understand the mechanics of the crime scene. Method marks can literally save a failing case. It's not just about the final destination, it's about the journey you took to get there. Show your work. Prove your logic. Give them a reason to give you those points.
Which brings us to Phase 2, the interrogation debate. It's time to stitch together that model response.
So let's step into the interrogation room. Agent Alex is at the table, aggressively trying to overload the suspect's profile, our essay, with long, dense blocks of raw textbook definitions. Alex wants to put everything they know onto the paper, but Agent Sam slams a folder on the table and counters with this exact official precedent from the principal examiner's report. Look at the quote on the screen. Top-scoring candidates demonstrate evaluative thinking by questioning assumptions, considering different perspectives, and justifying decisions with evidence. This is the key. You cannot just list facts. You have to interrogate those facts. Sam is totally right here. You have to actively consider alternative perspectives, and most importantly, you must justify every single analytical decision you make with hard, verifiable evidence pulled straight from the stimulus material. If you don't have the evidence, your argument falls apart under cross-examination. So, as the case clock is relentlessly ticking down, our agents sit there rewriting their initial thesis lines live. They try one angle, then another, and then, boom, the breakthrough happens. They realize that cross-topic connections unlock significantly higher marks. It's like finding the missing coherent case motive. When you link a specific theme from your Paper 3 essay back to a broader, core syllabus principle, you're showing the examiner that you don't just see the single, isolated crime scene. You're showing them that you understand the entire overarching criminal enterprise. You're connecting the dots across the whole Afrikaans syllabus, and examiners absolutely love that. It elevates your response from just good to top tier.
Okay, moving right along to Phase 3, Structural Upgrade. Time for a quick mid-case bulletin.
All right, case file freeze. Everyone stop what you're doing. Before we reveal this ultimate top-band paragraph structure that's going to help you completely clear your upcoming Cambridge sessions, you need to make sure your intelligence feed is fully secure. Take a second right now to hit that subscribe button for @AceTheExams and turn on all notifications. Seriously, ring that bell. Whether you are cracking cases at IGCSE, O-levels, or AS and A-levels, you do not want to miss our weekly forensic exam updates. Okay, feed secured? Let's get back to fixing the structural clops. So, back at the evidence table, our agents have hit a massive roadblock. Mid-paragraph, their evidence links are completely collapsing under cross-examination. They're panicking. That's when I step in and hand them this standardized sequence matrix. This is how you anchor your data flawlessly. Step 1, identify the key elements or clues in the text. Step 2, apply the core syllabus principles to those clues. Step 3, execute logical, rigorous analysis. Step 4, verify your results against the prompt. Did you actually answer the question? And Step 5, present it all using strict formatting conventions. If you processed your paragraphs through this exact 5-step matrix every single time, your text block becomes completely bulletproof. No examiner can tear it down. Welcome to Phase 4, the live evidence room. I'm handing the investigation files directly over to you for some interactive viewer checks. Let's see what you've got. All right, challenge 1, the visual clue scan. Imagine a 60-second visual countdown timer running right now. When you open that Afrikaans text case study, your job isn't to read every single word straight away. That completely wastes your precious case clock. Instead, you need to scan and extract the single highest yielding core trend. What is the main argument? What is the central conflict? Identifying this overarching relationship immediately gives you your thesis statement. And once you have that solid thesis locked in, the rest of your essay simply becomes the straightforward process of hunting down the evidence to back it up. Time's up. Did you spot the trend? This takes practice, but it's a massive time saver. Now we launch straight into Challenge 2, identify the counterfeit answer. To build this, we've pulled the top 3 examiner warnings straight from the official principal examiner reports. Number 1, answers are way too vague. Number 2, students have completely forgotten format conventions. And number 3, the essay is severely lacking in specific context. Now, I'm going to present a flawed, medium-tier sample student response paragraph to you. Your job as a detective is to locate the exact sentence where false logic or descriptive fluff destroys the overall mark integrity. Ready? Let's get the digital marker out. Look right there, right smack in the middle of the paragraph. The student made a massive, broad claim without citing a specific line from the text, and they completely failed to use the correct terminology. This right here, this is exactly where a potential top-band case gets immediately downgraded to a mid-tier warning. It honestly doesn't matter how beautifully you write or how great your vocabulary is if the forensic substance simply isn't there to back it up. You have to be specific. You have to use the right terminology, and you must maintain your structural headings. Vague details will absolutely destroy your mark integrity. And that brings us to Phase 5, case closed. Let's run a full investigation recap. All right, our agents, Alex and Sam finally synchronized their approaches. They compiled their final bulletproof text block and confirmed a 100% case resolution score. Beautiful work. Now, to replicate this success in the field yourself, you need to distill this whole session into a memory acronym to manage your clock budget allocation. Remember,
DSE. First, deconstruct the exact command words in the question. Second, solve systematically by making your working procedural and visible to the examiner. And third, evaluate by aggressively questioning assumptions and justifying every point with evidence. If you stick strictly to that DSE protocol, you control the clock, rather than letting the clock control you. Well, detectives, you now have the ultimate forensic blueprint. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and absolutely smash that notification bell for @Ace the Exams so you never miss our weekly grade masterclasses. And before you go, drop a comment below and tell me exactly which Cambridge subject and level, whether it's IGCSE, O, A, S, or A level, you are preparing to conquer next. But I want to leave you with one final thought before you walk out of this evidence room. If you were handed your final exam paper right this very second, would you be the detective who systematically solves the case or the one who lets all the clues just slip away? The choice is yours. Stay sharp out there.